link. All right. There, I don't even have to say that I gave myself permission.
Which is great. Okay, so hello everyone, Cecilia here, and we have a special guest today. The ISSIP's new president, Terri Griffith, is joining us. Thanks, Terri, for joining us today.
Very nice to be here with you.
Thank you. For my first question for you, I know that you are such a long-term supporter of ISSIP since its inception in 2012. I would love to hear what makes ISSIP so special to you, and then also your motivation for your new leadership role.
All right. Well, the reason I came to ISSIP was it was a place where the academic community and the industry community work together. And that is rare in my experience, even as a business school faculty member. Oftentimes, either the academics are leading the event or the industry partners are leading the event, but it's not so often that we get to be colleagues in all the things that we do. And ISSIP has always been that kind of a place for me, where I'm getting to speak to the industry leaders who serve on the board, who work in the executive committee, who come to all the events that we do. And at the same time, I'm also getting to connect with academics from all across the university. So not just my normal business school colleagues, but people, I believe someone even was mentioning nursing schools as being, tightly tied to some of the important things that ISSIP does.
Amazing. Then what about, because I know that you served the VP role last year, and then now you stepped up as a president, and then I would love to hear your motivation for your new leadership role.
It's an interesting year. We've had the joyous transformation of Yasi moving onto our board, but stepping down as our executive director. And she's been executive director for 10 years. Yeah. So this is very much a transitional period for us. Definitely. And while our board has gotten stronger, we're still in the process of searching. Probably by the time this interview comes out, we will have named our new executive director. But it's a transformation year. And so I'm really open to all the ideas that new person will bring to us. But at the same time, even when I said yes to running for vice president, and as many of you know, you get elected to the vice president role and then you become the president the following year. Even when I wrote up why I would be interested in being vice president of ISSIP, it was really about how do we continue the process and make it easier for others to find us and to engage with us and then gain value from all the things that we do. And so I tend to talk about that as making the on-ramps a little bit easier, or the on-ramps a little bit more obvious. Maybe we need some bigger signage. Because we have such a fantastic core of members, but I know there are many members out there who really want to do more. They want a bigger platform for sharing their thought leadership in terms of how their own organizations are practicing service innovation. Or we need to reach out to areas where we haven't done as much. We're very excited about some of the new connections we have with organizations like Blue Cross. Just extending that is something fantastic. And I think it's helpful too that we're spread out all over the globe. I was in the Silicon Valley when I first, engaged with ISSIP. And so I was there with the founding members and got to see them face to face. And then now that I'm in Vancouver, I'm adding a little bit. And actually, Utpal Mangla, who's our vice president this year, will become president next year, is also in Canada. So we've become quite the Canadian organization.
Oh, amazing. Okay. I think that nicely leads to my next question. I think ISSIP community might want to hear your plan for ISSIP 2022 goals and objectives. I know that you briefly touched upon that during the video call, but for those people who might have missed it out, it would be great to hear that. And also specifically focusing on maybe your plans for raising awareness of ISSIP, providing more opportunities to ISSIP members to share their knowledge and then thought leadership with the broader audiences as well.
Mhm. Well, one of the first things we did in 2022, the Executive Council, is said, we have this strategy council, but we haven't been gaining the benefits so much of their expertise. And so this year, what we asked the strategy council to do in the first quarter is to come together and really help us understand, especially from the industry perspective, what are the themes that we should follow in this year? And then we'll ask them again at the end of the year to help us rethink the broader goals and objectives that we'll think about for 2022, 2023. And so this is really a nice thing because the folks on the strategy council are just leaders in so many different fields. So they bring a diversity and a set of experiences and high-level thinking that will guide us into what are the best themes for 2022. We'll get that before the end of the first quarter, and we'll start preparing those events. We do these amazing discovery summits, but we want to make sure that the discovery summits are on target with what the membership is really looking for. And that's where some of the academic members then come and play great roles. Academic members tend to be fantastic in terms of facilitating those conversations because we deal with executive classrooms a lot, and so we can find ways to pull some great insights out and then link them together. I think that's something we do pretty well. And our academic and our industry members both do research. I was talking with an industry member only today, and he was talking about how they have a whole new data set, and they'll be sharing that with folks soon. So the academic members, the industry members sharing that new data around different topics that are of importance, but having strategy council help us hone in on at the moment, because we're very responsive. And so, we'll hear those themes, we will act on those themes, and you'll be seeing some great opportunities to connect, serve on panels, and either develop your own thought leadership or gain some new insights from others who do. So that is really what's on the table. It's a little bit of a different year, like I said, though, because we are in this transition period with the executive director. And that brings us to the other part. Whoever is selected will have a new lens at looking at our website and looking at our communication strategies. And I'm very much looking forward to working with that person to, like I said, make those on-ramps both more obvious and easier to handle for new members and for the members that we have, to help them find the way that ISSIP can bring them the most value.
That's exciting. Definitely, yeah. Cool. And lastly, I know that thank you for responding to our mini survey we ran last November. I know that you mentioned about the definition of service and then the challenge around it, since we work with many different industry practitioners as well as the academic members. Could you just share your thoughts on what does service mean to you? First of all.
The phrasing I use the most is to think about, how is my organization, how are my activities in service to, and then in service to whom? In service to another organization, in service to another division, in service to another person. And I think that helps people see the breadth of what we mean in ISSIP about service innovation. So anything that is in service to someone else, anything that is helping transform the work that I do into value for someone else. I think we often use the phrase co-creation, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so far broader definition than I think some people think about. And it's a hard one in that people have an idea in their head about what service means, but really to say it means that and so much more, right?
Definitely. I mean, I found it very challenging to sell the concept of service in a product-centric world in industry. So I just wanted to get your perspective on that too. Do you have anything you would like to share with the ISSIP community? Maybe your latest efforts in service innovation, upcoming
I think given, the statement I'm making about, having bigger road signs for those on-ramps to participating in ISSIP, take the chance to go through and look at all the things that we've done and then say to yourself, how would I like to participate in that? And just let us know. We're a very engaged group, and we would love to bring more people onto panels. We would love to hear about any kinds of research, and it could be a big research project like the one I'm thinking about, or it could be lightweight experiments that you have learned something. You know, what a great thing if we could start to share both small and large research results in the earliest stages so everybody gets a benefit. But think about ISSIP as a platform to help you move to the next level in your career. You know, like I said, I came to ISSIP because of the people and the opportunity to really engage with the different industry colleagues and to do work together, to do that co-creation. And so be thinking to yourself, how might that help you in your own work? And then let us know what you'd like us to do. You know, engage with us. There's the LinkedIn group. There is ISSIP just as a LinkedIn organization. Post there and let us know. Respond on Twitter, and let's get that dialogue going.
Great, awesome. All right, then. Thank you so much, Terri, for today, and then speak to you next time.
Wonderful. Thank you.